Get it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Inspire Before We Expire show. I am your host, Terrell Sumter. Guys, I'm very grateful, thankful, and graceful to see another day. That's never a promise. Guys, before we get into today's show, I want us to take some time, and I want us to close our eyes, and I want us to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Now, I want you to take a moment. Now let's open. Guys, I'm very excited. I got a very special guest on my show. I want you all to know first and foremost, you're not alone in this journey. I know times can be tough, but you're much stronger than you think you are. Sometimes we cannot look for others to help us along the way when we're down. It's nothing wrong with because everybody needs somebody, but sometimes we must take back our power and take accountability as well along our process and along our journey. So I don't want to take too much of your time, but I want you all to really, really get your notepads and your pens out for my guy today. This gentleman here is a phenomenal visual with a remarkable story that you would truly be inspired by. He's a former NFL athlete, business consultant, best-selling author. He's a father and a devoted husband. Guys, I want to introduce you to my guy, Mr. Marques Ogden. Marques, welcome to the Inspire Before We Expire today, man.
How you doing, Terrell? Thanks for having me on, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking time out your busy schedule to be here and be present. That means a lot, man. If you could just really just dive into your journey, man. When did the journey first start for you?
Yeah, man. So I played, I'm from Washington, D.C., played high school football, St. John's College High School, the same high school that Kevin Plank, who's the CEO and founder of Under Armour, went to. Went to Howard University, got a full scholarship to play football for the Bison. My dad is also a Howard grad, played for the Bison on the football field as well. So I got to carry on that legacy. I am the first and only drafted offensive lineman ever out of Howard University's history. Drafted in 2003 to the Jacksonville Jaguars under Jack Del Rio, who's now the interim head coach for the Washington football team. I think, unfortunately, Coach Rivera has some things going on health-wise. And I believe Jack's now the interim head coach, but he's also the D coordinator full-time for the Washington football team, which I'm very excited to see him do great things. Played in the NFL for 6 seasons, got out. I struggled immensely, Terrell, with transition. I was an alcoholic. I was on the pills and depression. I was literally a gambling addict, just anything bad, nightlife. I had no direction. I had no path. I had no vision. And I tell my clients all the time, if you don't have vision in life, you're going to go through life with no purpose. When you have no purpose, you're not going to live what you like. You talk about, you're not going to inspire anyone without a purpose. So I finally found a construction company. I built it in 2008, and it became the largest African-American subcontracting business in the city of Baltimore and the state of Maryland for 2 years. Again, we specialize in site work, utilities, dirt work, grading, concrete work, all that kind of great stuff. But I was really good at attracting and retaining talent. But unfortunately, as a company had massive success, and I really remember when we became the African American of the Year subcontractor, we were the African American subcontractor of the year in 2011. That was the beginning of the end for me because I started to believe all the hype. I became very arrogant, very egotistical. And unfortunately, what happened is I became the negative boss, not a good, solid servant leader. And my staff picked up on that. And when that happened, they became toxic. They became arrogant. And I only had one really good employee, Terrell, to try to give me warning, to try to tell me, hey, Marques, we're going down the wrong road here. We're spending a lot of money on a project. That's what happened. I spent about close to $2.5 to $3 million of my money in less than 90 days on the project. My money, bank's money. I took out loans on my property. I did it all because I was so entrenched in trying to get this one job done. I lost sight of the purpose and the vision of the company overall. Finished the job, finished the work. And the contractor and the developer denied my change order. And they shook my hand and promised me all they would take care of me at the beginning when I started all the extra work because I had worked for them. I trusted them. I was trying to inspire Baltimore and be this great leader and hire people from all different walks of life, all this great stuff. But I forgot the cardinal rule: business is business, and dot your I's, cross your T's, and don't expect anybody to take care of you when it comes to their bottom line profitability. So they took advantage of me, all my fault, didn't pay me. I went bankrupt. 2013, lost my home, lost both my cars. Both my cars were repossessed in the same day. I was a multimillionaire April 2012. April 2013, I had $400 to my name. That's it, $400. NFL money, gone. Home, foreclosed on by the bank. Both cars, I got down to Raleigh into a little rental property. We were almost homeless because we couldn't afford next month's rent. But before that happened, the repo man showed up. Both cars pulled off the lot, off of our driveway in the same day. One repo man showed up, the other one showed up. And man, I was just down and out, and I worked at a job at Merrill Lynch. I got fired after 2 months, all my fault. Got a job the next day to a construction company, Terrell, fired 5 days later. They shut down the parts of the sales division of the organization. I have no job. So basically, we have, one car. Could we be able to get that? We were almost homeless, but the NFL stepped in to help us with the Gene Upshaw Trust Fund, pay some of our bills, and gave us an opportunity to get ourselves together. And I was just working because I was fired. The only job I could get after I was fired from the construction company was a custodian. I was a janitor, custodian, whatever you want to call it, for $8.25 an hour. It was September of 2013. And I had a pivotal moment, man, where somebody's trash, rotten meat, banana peels, spoiled milk, horrible, protruding, awful smell of someone's garbage got on my body, my skin, my clothes, everything. And I remember sitting down on the curb with my head in my hands crying. I said, what has happened, Marques? What happened to you? A year and a half ago, you were the king of Baltimore in a business. And then I realized that was what was wrong with me. I looked at myself as the king. I looked at myself as the main person. I looked at myself as the top dog. And I wasn't. I was a servant leader that became an arrogant, egotistical king. And that's how I lost my business. That's how I lost everything. And there was no accountability. There was no ownership. It was always everybody else's fault. My business partner, the developer, my employees, everybody's fault. The bank, the equipment company, everybody's fault but mine. And after that moment, Terrell, I said, okay, 2 choices. 1, own up to your mistakes, fix your life, move forward, and figure out what to do next. Or live in what I call the Married with Children or Al Bundy syndrome, where you're always talking about how great you were in the past. Great high school football player, great college football player, great NFL player, but that's not gonna pay a bill in the world. That's always gonna put you right in the same spot, talking about your past. So I said, what am I gonna do? Came home and I said, here's what I'm gonna do. I have 3 things I'm good at. I'm good at communication, I'm good with people, and I wanna help people. I computed that in my brain, I'm gonna become a speaker. That's what I started. So September 2013 is when I began my speaking business. Took me 2.5 years, Terrell. I was told no on every paid job I went after for 2.5 years. I didn't get a chance to inspire anybody because I was all about pay me. I was desperate. I was like, help me, get me on stage, pay me. And I didn't know how to create value for anybody. So for 2.5 years, told no on over every paid job. Got my first paid job finally, April 2016 from Miller Mock College in Wilmington, North Carolina. Did the job, learned more about value add, how to treat people, how to become a servant leader. I developed and I kept working on my craft. And now today, I've worked for 17 Fortune 500 companies. Of the 17, 10 are Fortune 100. I've authored 2 best-selling books. I am a consultant for big organizations, food product to retail to banking. I have also, my audiobook is out. I do one-on-one coaching, group coaching. I'm about to do an automation business. We do some subscription model stuff, but we're really going to streamline all of our content, Terrell, into one funnel. We're creating the mindset funnel. And from there, it'll all lead up to a lot of free value, webinars, different free things. And if you would like, you can purchase at the end the mental toughness over physical limitations course to help you push and develop that super strong mindset so you can go from wherever you are to where you want to. Because again, next month, Terrell, next month is the 7-year mark when I was a custodian. September 2013, I was a custodian for $8.25 an hour. And next month, I'm speaking on the same virtual stage with Les Brown and Dr. George Frazier, two of the biggest icons of our time for speaking. And I'm on the same stage with them as a celebrity keynote speaker. So if I can change and I can go from bankrupt, broke, down, almost out in 2013 to now where I'm in 2020, anybody on this call that's listening, on this podcast that's listening, they can turn their life around too.
Inspiring, man. Inspiring. Let's go. What did you learn mostly from rock bottom, man, and what has it taught you today?
What I learned is that when you feel that you're always the best and you're always arrogant or egotistical, that's where rock bottom will hit you in the face. Like today, I made a post on my LinkedIn about speaking next month. I'm not there yet. I'm always going to do more. Somebody said, well, Marcus, no, don't do that to yourself. Celebrate the wins where you are. I said, no. Don't think I'm not happy. I'm blessed and amazed at where I am. But understand, the last time I got arrogant, egotistical, and thought I was the best at everything, 6 months later, I'm bankrupt, broke, and almost homeless. So I'll never, ever, ever again feel that I'm the best at anything, because I'm always wanting to do what? Get better at everything.
Absolutely. What's some advice you would give to some maybe young teens, man, who out there, young athletes or so, and they just don't know their direction, man? They kind of was in a similar space that you once was in. And I know you talk a lot about learning from your mistakes. What would some advice you would give to them to really just pick their head up and just, put their faith into the man above, most importantly, and just keep going?
Yeah, man, get a mentor that is somebody that you can relate to and can be real with, because all of us need that person to help us and guide us, like a coach, a mentor. Everybody has a coach. Michael Jordan had Phil Jackson. Kobe had Phil Jackson, right? Every great athlete has a coach, right? Even Tony Robbins has a coach. Every coach has a coach because they know the value of a coach. You don't have to go and hire one as a team. Just find someone that will pour into you and mentor you with guidance and with help you stay on the path. And you, again, make something that you can relate to. Because if you can't relate to them and you can't be real with them, then having them as a mentor does no good.
Absolutely, man. I love that. Who was that coach for you, man? Who was that person in your corner every step of the way?
So my father was my mentor all until he passed away when I was 26. And that's—
Sorry to hear, my condolences.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. My dad was big in my life. And if I'd have had my dad around, Terrell, when I had my construction business, I would never have lost it, because my dad would have pulled me back in line, made me not become that king mentality, and mesmerized by my early success individual. So now I have a coach. His name is Brad, and he's out of the Pennsylvania area. And he was the one actually to where I went to a program in 2018 at Penn State. And I didn't really want to go. And a great man named Andre Collins, who's in the NFL league office, played for the Redskins, great guy, said, Marcus, I want you to go to this program to better yourself. And I kind of took it like, what do you mean I'm better myself? I'm not good enough. But then I remembered, I'm falling back into that pattern of trying to become the king of something. So I went. And I'm so glad I did, because I learned how to actually use my past experiences as an NFL athlete, as a business owner, to now transition and be able to relate to clients through speaking, coaching, consulting, more than I ever had. And without that program, Terrell, I'm not who I am today, because they taught me about leadership assessment exams, how to have career and life value drivers, taught me about how to have good pattern recognition. I mean, it's taught me so much that without them, I'm not where I am today. So again, my coach, Brad, it's been amazing since I've been working with him in 2018 to keep me on track in my trajectory going forward.
Absolutely, man. I love that. That's amazing. We all need somebody, man, especially somebody that's going to be there with us and not hold our hand, but be there, guide us and mentor us the right way. I know you spoke of, man, alcohol, and things of that nature. And I kind of wanted you to touch on that, man. How did you overcome that addiction?
what I realized is I was drinking not for just social to be, a drink here or there, like, which is fine, right? I was drinking my sorrows, and I was trying to drink to mask the pain and mask the failure of my life. And what I realized is that at the end of the bottle, when the bottle's empty, all it does, it creates more problems. That's all it does. So when I woke up one day, I was like, wow, all these beer cans here, because I was so broke, right? I was drinking, when I left the NFL, I had money. So I was drinking this, like, Hennessy, stuff like that. And I woke myself up one day and said, okay, Marcus, this is not going to get you anywhere, right? And then the second time, because I lost my business, it was cheap beer. I couldn't afford anything else. I said, man, all these beer cans, all this extra stuff, Marcus, all you're doing, you're creating more problems, health problems, weight problems, blood pressure problems, all this stuff. It's not going to fix anything. So then I went and got some help. I went to get up to a therapist, through the mental health part. I'm a big mental health advocate. I've been to anger management when I was in college, at Howard. That helped me. I did it while I was playing. After my father died, that helped me. I went to it again after I was trying to get myself back on my feet after losing my business and having some issues with my spouse. I was terrible at communication. She was great. I was not good because I was angry about being a failure, all this stuff. And it helped me to kind of get my life back on track. So again, the bottle is not the answer. If you're having a social drink to enjoy yourself with friends, not a problem. If you're drinking excessively to mask pain or bury an issue, not okay. I've been there. It's going to take you nowhere but down. And you deserve better than that. You deserve to actually have the problem addressed, dealt with, and move on and inspire others to help them live their best life.
Absolutely. Powerful, man. And do you think part of the reason why you was really going through what you was going through was because of the passing of your father? If you want to touch on that.
Passing of the father was huge. My best friend, he helped raise, my father was my best friend. He helped raise me. He raised me. Him and my maternal grandparents were there. My mom left us when I was 8. So my father was a single parent, raised both his sons. My maternal grandparents were amazing. So when I lost him, it was hard. I was a big drinker then. Absolutely. I was mad at God. I was upset. Like, why you take him? He was only 57. But then I realized my dad was in a lot of pain. And my dad also was, again, very large throughout his whole life. He had obesity issues, kidney issues. So when I realized as I got older and got a little bit more wise that, my dad, is in a better place because he's not hurting from what he's gone through in his life. And, he's in a much better place. He's not in the pain anymore. My dad was embarrassed about, he didn't have a good career for many years after he got sick with kidney failure. So when I realized that him passing on to the next place was best for him, I kind of dealt with it better. But in the beginning, it was very hard, very hard. And so that's why when I started my construction business, it was too soon. It was only like a year and a half after his passing. I shouldn't have done that. And I did it anyway, and I got lucky. But eventually, between the anger and then the frustration and then me not really want to be in construction anyway, Terrell, everything caught up with me in 2012 in the summer. Then when my best employee left me in the fall, fall, by that following, basically end of winter, February, beginning of spring, March, I was done. Out of business, bankrupt, and on my way to rock bottom at that time.
What was that why, Marcus? Because you have a very, very, your story is remarkable, man. What made you just continue to keep going? What made you just to not really give up on yourself? Because you have people that played in the NFL or played any type of pro sport and was on top, or so like that, but they fell off and they never found the way to really get back up. So what was that big why, your driving force?
Well, the why for me is I had become a statistic. I had filed a bankruptcy like a lot of people do who play sports, unfortunately. Again, I lost mine in business. Bad decisions, bad attitude, wrong feel, however you want to call it. And I didn't want to stay a statistic. I had become a statistic, but it didn't mean I had to stay one. And like my father always taught me, life is hard. It's going to break you some days. It's going to test you. It's going to try to break you down to the depths of your soul. But if you have the mindset that you deserve the best and you're willing to sacrifice, do the work to achieve the best, you can push forward. So when I was spraying spraying those tables with, with Pledge, and scrubbing those tables, and, and cleaning baseboards and vacuuming the floor and taking out trash, I did it with a passion to do more, but I was still in that victim mode, that no accountability mode. The pivotal moment was really my why. I said, you know what? If I can go through having someone's trash, rotten meat, banana peels, all that horrible, disgusting, protruding smell on my body, my hands, my clothes, my neck, if I can deal with that, then I can keep going until I'm either not, like you said, until I expire, or until I reach it, right? That's how it is. So for me, it's so important that people understand that you have to keep going if you want to be the best and inspire others. You just have to. Because here's the thing, a lot of people can achieve greatness to a certain degree, but keeping and maintaining that greatness is the hardest part. Like Kobe Bryant made it to the NBA. He didn't go down as the greatest NBA player because he made it to the NBA. He did that because he actually played a high level every single night, every single day, every single game, every single workout, every single work ethic. And that's why he was great. Same thing with Michael Jordan, same thing with Tony Robbins. I mean, everybody, Damon John, I can go down the list. All the greats achieved something, right? And then they went through something and they still stayed and inspired. So the point I'm making is you have to be that person that knows the why, but also know why your why is important. So when you face adversity, face negativity, you face doubt and haters and non-believers, you don't let that sink in and take you off track. I'm not having people tell me, Marcus, why you want to be a speaker? Go coach high school football. Go do that. Like, that's easy. That's your passion. That's what you need to be doing. No. That's what you want me to do. You want me to go do that. You're not going to be the next Tony Robbins. You're not going to be, this great guru. Well, you know what? I'm not going to be Tony Robbins because I'm not white, right? You're right. And I don't want to be Tony Robbins. I want to be me. If I do something that he's done in the industry, great. But I don't want to be him. I want to be me. So that's what kept me going. That's what kept pushing me when people kept saying, why are you doing this? What are you thinking? This is crazy. This is never going to happen. You're never going to become a published author. You're never going to have a paid keynote job. You're never going to get a Fortune 500 client. You're never going to get a coaching client. Well, in the last 7 years, I've had 17 Fortune 500 clients. I've worked with over 80 people as a one-on-one coach. I've written not one, but 2 books that are bestsellers. My second book that my wife was the ghostwriter for is in every Barnes & Noble bookstore across the country in the business section, not in the sports section, in the business section. Next to people like Phil Knight's book, founders of Nike, Bob Iger, CEO of Disney, Damon John. Our book is next to those people's books. So I'm living proof that just because people tell you no, or you can't have it, or you can't make it, or what are you thinking, that's their mentality. That's their mindset. It's your decision on your greatness, nobody else's.
Absolutely, man. And I definitely want to get into the book, man. I love the title of the first book, Sleepless Nights, man. That title right there just stands out. Take us into that moment, man. When did you decide to do this, make this happen and create this, write this story and share this story?
The first book was really about me setting a platform in 2014, trying to help athletes be aware of my story to avoid my pitfalls. And it was published by Post Hill Press Publishing, a big publisher out of New Orleans, Louisiana. Unfortunately, they didn't stay in business long because some of the things that were written weren't great products, but it is what it is. They were a great organization at the time to work with, and I had nothing but respect for them. So that was our first book, Sleepless Nights, to kind of set the stage and let people know about what I had gone through. But again, we were trying to really target athletes, talking about, what it's like to leave the sport, try to start a business, how I failed in business, right? And then trying to get myself going to the second degree. The second book is really more for anybody that wants to achieve success. It's a 3-step process: ambition, drive, hard work. Ambition is about creating the roadmap and the blueprint for the success of your life. Drive is about being inspired to do greatness, not just motivated for short-term gain. Then hard work is about focusing on yourself and not the competition. And don't get caught in what I call the social media comparison game. So that's what it's about. So you can order that. It's a $26 purchase, hardback cover. It can be shipped to you on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. You can go to the bookstore, Barnes & Noble, and pick it up. It's a very inexpensive blueprint roadmap of a book to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. Again, 7.5 years ago, I was bankrupt, broke, almost homeless. Today, I've worked for many companies. I've turned my life around. We have a great organization. I have people that work for me. I have great employees. I have great contracts, great partners. And all of that was laid out in this book. How to create your blueprint through ambition, how to be driven and inspired for greatness, and how to focus on yourself. So if you want to really achieve success, go to Amazon, go to Barnes & Noble, most people buy it off Amazon, or the book on Barnes & Noble bookstore, and purchase a copy. It's a very simple, very easy read to help you get from A to Z.
And what are some keys you applied, man, along the years from the past of doing today present of being able to build a successful business?
Oh, there's 3 things I always tell people. Number 1, you have to have operational excellence.
Okay.
Great systems and setups. That's internal communication, external communication, great delegation, processes and systems to get things to the right people to achieve success. The second one is great quality products / client satisfaction. Invest dollars, invest time, invest into systems and processes to be sure that your product is quality and is the best on the market in your space. And the third is always set up excellent customer service feedback processes. If your client base gives you feedback, how can you implement it to make you better? If your employees give you feedback, how can you implement that feedback to make it better? If you have great operational excellence, quality product / client satisfaction, great, excellent customer service process and systems to take in that feedback, you can have greatness. Again, operational excellence, quality products, excellent customer service.
Absolutely, man. Man, I love it, man. Your story is remarkable. People that's listening, please go ahead and support, Marques' book too as well. Go ahead and read it, because we all go through things in times or so like that, and it's not overnight that we can make it out. So, man, I wanted to ask you, man, if you can really, really have a conversation with the younger Marques, what would you really, really say to him to help him be able to grow through what he go through?
I would tell the younger Marques to not be mesmerized by early success. It's a marathon, not a sprint. That's why in our business today, we're having success. Great. I'm very fortunate and grateful and blessed, but that's not enough. It's about creating a legacy that you'll help so many other people, that your name, when you're gone and you expire, has inspired the masses all across generations. That's what it's about. So I'm never going to be happy with doing what I'm doing and being satisfied, because again, the minute you get satisfied and you think you hit a finish line, that's when you open yourself up to possible mistakes and errors, which can cost you great issues, pain points, and or worse, your demise. So again, I would tell the younger Marques, you're having great success, 8-figure business, great. But don't get mesmerized by early success, because it took me 5.5 years to build my empire, Terrell. I lost it all and everything I owned in just under 90 days.
Wow, man. Why is it important to you, to be a service to others? What is it that when you feel so much connected to maybe your clients or students?
It's about giving people hope, right? So you need to give people hope that they're having difficult times, hard times, that you are someone that has a tremendous amount of value that can help them and give them inspiration. It's about being a beacon of light in the darkness. So what I do is I'm always excited about working with people. But if I speak to someone or do a podcast that's somebody that's having a difficult time, that's struggling, I want to be hope and a beacon of light to help shine in their darkness time that they're in, to help them figure out how to get out where they are to get to where they want to go.
Absolutely. Take us into accountability, man. What it has done, it has shaped you, to being the best version of yourself, along with the healthier version of yourself along this journey.
Accountability is all about taking ownership of your own life. And it's really and truly about not giving yourself or allowing yourself to make excuses if you don't get things done. It's like me. I go to the gym 6 days a week. I don't take off from the gym unless I'm sick, which is almost never, right? It's about, if I'm going to do something for a client, get it done, right? Like I told my client earlier, made a mistake on the times. I told him, I said, Craig, I'm so sorry, man. Like I thought it was this time and this time. No excuse. I take full ownership. I apologize. And on our next call, I'll give you an extra 20 minutes to kind of help you to kind of make up for that mistake. He said, great, Marcus, I love this. I mean, it's great to have a coach that actually owns up and says what he's preaching and teaching, which I always do. So it's really about doing what you say you're going to do, doing it when you say you're going to do it, and being reliable, right? It's about being reliable and taking ownership of your journey. You are the commander of your ship. If you're not willing to lead people if you're not willing to lead yourself first and have the mission be a top priority, you'll never have accountability. Because what will happen is, as you're going down the line towards your greatness, if something goes wrong, you'll probably blame somebody else for that going wrong. Like I did with my construction company. Today, if something goes wrong in the business, I take responsibility, even if it's not my fault. I say, I'm sorry about that. I take full accountability. That won't happen again. Even if it's one of my team members' faults, I don't put things on them anymore. I don't do that. Like I'll always take the good, the bad, the ugly, and no matter what happens, because if you do that for your team, it builds confidence and it breeds a healthy culture that they'll want to stay with you and work with you to the end of time.
Absolutely. And what are some main struggles you face with clients right now?
A lot of clients are just very, they have a lot of things going on where business is not like it used to be. And a lot of my clients are continuing to pivot to the art of social selling through LinkedIn and being more outgoing and sharing more of their experiences, because a lot of my clients aren't used to that because they're used to the old way of networking and things like that. So a lot of my clients were focusing on how to more pivot to get them more marketing and exposure to the art of digital selling, which is I've been doing now for years. And we had a good market share before this happened. And that's why I'm very fortunate. We have a good reputation because we have slowed down on the speaking stage, but not in other areas, because we were always forward thinking about digital marketing. That includes like LinkedIn marketing, Facebook marketing, Instagram. We were always just out there being very positive and being very consistent on social media, marketing our brand, our partners, and our clients and their successes.
Absolutely. I love that, man. I wanted you to take a moment, man, and just really just share on this platform which you may never shared on a podcast or share with somebody in a long time, man. I wanted you to give you the platform for a minute.
I mean, no, man, I'm very transparent with everybody. The thing I tell everybody is that, at the end of the day, you have to be willing to share your story and be honest with yourself and be vulnerable and be real with people. I know sometimes it's hard. You don't want to share too much. You're a personal person. You're a private person. But the way that our world is now, people don't just buy your products. They buy you, especially if they can't see you, shake your hand, sit down with you eye to eye because of the times we're in through Corona. But what I can tell you is being more vulnerable and sharing more of your life story and your experiences in a way that's not asking for self-pity or asking people to kind of feel sorry for you. It's more about alerting people and helping to inspire them to push through their issues, their pain points. That will help you tremendously to grow your business, and also will help you tremendously become more of a thought leader in what you're doing, even as a young person. This way, you'll always be primed for success because people are going to see you as a thought leader, and they're going to want to what? Speak to you, engage you, and look to you for advice.
Absolutely. I definitely agree. So I know you got something big coming up next month, man. You excited? You looking very forward to speaking along some great guys before our time?
Oh, man. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Les Brown, Dr. Frazier, Byron Nelson, very successful individual in the private equity space. You know, it's really about surrounding yourself with great people. Because when you do that, it elevates your game. It elevates your skill sets. So I'm very excited about the event on September 12th. But I'm also very excited about the mindset funnel, because it can help us to scale our business, but at the same time, we can reach more people through messaging. And again, right now, some people are on Facebook, LinkedIn, Google, Pinterest. So this is the perfect time for us to do this, but also the topic of mindset, how to push through, is huge, because I feel it can help so many people who are struggling to get out of that negative mindset, to help them push forward into their greatness.
Absolutely. How can people tune in, tap in, and share, maybe support or
yeah,
so
man,
like
go
that?
to my website, www.marques, MARQUES, Ogden, OGDEN.com, and connect with us, man. Shoot us an email, Marques_Ogden@yahoo.com. Reach out to us. Go to our website right now. We are having the mental toughness course be free for the next probably 30 days. But after that, it's going to cost. So you can go to our website, go to the main website homepage. When you get there, just go ahead and type in your name, your email, bam, you'll get a free course. Because like I said, in 30 days, it's going to cost you a lot more than free. So I would go there today, get access to it, and then start to work on sharpening your mindset and your mental toughness to overcome any physical limitations that you might have.
Absolutely, man. I love that. All right, I know we about to get out here in a few minutes, man. I wanted to ask you, when it's all said and done, what do you mostly want to be remembered for?
Helping inspire people to take accountability. That's what we remember for. Inspiring people, all ethnicities, all genders, all backgrounds, all cultures. I want to be known for someone who inspired people to take accountability to live their best life. That to me is what a legacy is all about. You can't take money with you, but when your name is being spoken long after you're gone, that is what people remember you by.
Absolutely. Powerful, powerful. Man, I wanted to take some time and just give you some gratitude for really showing up, devoting your time fully. You could have been anywhere, but you was here with our community. And I really thank you for being here, man, and being present, for sharing your story, being transparent, and also being vulnerable, because there's always strength in vulnerability. And I wanted to give you your flowers while you're here. And we're glad to have you a part of our family, man. I know so many people, especially our younger, generation, would truly be moved and inspired by your story. Young and upcoming entrepreneurs, athletes, you name it, or so like that, man. And I want to say thank you for really being present, man, and sharing your story fully. Remarkable, remarkable. Thank you.
No problem, man. I enjoyed it, man. Thanks for having me on, Terrell.
Indeed. Guys, I want you all to take some time to support and, follow Marques' mission. You got some phenomenal things coming up. And I just hope this really moves you guys. So if you guys can leave us a review on iTunes or so like that, and subscribe to continue to help us expand the message on those on the outside and also those on the inside. So we thank you guys to inspire before we expire. I wanted you to leave off with your very favorite quote, man. Something.
You have to believe it before you see it. That's my own personal quote. If you don't believe it, do not ever expect to see it.
My man. Guys, there you have it. I'm Terrell Sumter. That's Marques Ogden. This is Inspire Before We Expire, and we're out. Woo!